afternoon, everybody. Wheeler's Weekend Jams here. You have questions, I have answers. Never done this before since I'm the one always interviewing other people. This time we had a little fun and had some of our fans and followers interview me basically. So let's get right at it. And we have question number 1 here. Mr. Eric Sorn, what is the meaning to life? Well, that's a really good question, Eric. I am not the master of the universe, God, Buddha, whichever you call it, but I will say the meaning of life, in my eyes, is to find something that you are passionate about. Stay motivated. These times nowadays are flying by, with all the technology and, you're on your phone for 3 hours, but it feels like you're only on it for 10 minutes, and there you go, 3 hours have gone by. Life is short, people. So basically find what you're passionate about, and be happy, stay strong, even when the downs got you by the balls and you're feeling miserable. Pick yourself up, keep yourself busy, read a book, Google some information that you don't know about, learn something new, but pretty much find what you're passionate about and stay motivated. That's what I think the meaning of life is, because if you're just sitting there staring at a wall, then you have no meaning to life. Why not go outside, listen to the birds, play with your cats and dogs, take a bike ride, go play basketball, go hit some baseballs. Do what you gotta do, you know what I'm saying? So, alright. Question number 2. Lauren Piecars, what made you start Wheeler's Weekend Jams? Well, Lauren, it's funny you asked that. But basically, I went to the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, downtown Chicago. It's basically a smaller Columbia. We worked all on, TV commercials and radio broadcasting. So I was really into radio. I did radio at WARG, WARG 88.9 at Argo High School back in the early 2000s. So I always enjoyed being a radio DJ, playing new music, finding out about new bands. That was always my interest, other than also being a musician. I've been playing the drums pretty much my whole life. So when I went to the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, I got my radio broadcasting degree after a year, and I started doing my internship at the school's radio station, WindyCityUnderground.com. Basically, I was like the only guy on the station that had like a rock show. So, when my show first started, it was on a weekend, and it just came together as, Wheeler's Weekend Jams. It just kind of came together like that, and I started that because I really wanted to help other bands, especially local bands, that I thought that were amazing, give them some promotion and help them out and start doing interviews. I never knew how big it was gonna get. We're still working hard to this day on trying to get more interviews and trying to be the MTV that never was, because MTV now is garbage. So basically what made me want to start it was just, I love meeting new people. I love meeting new musicians, and I always just wanted to help other people who had amazing talent that needed to get out to the world more than, then you got your other, fake people who are trying to get in on American Idol and all this other garbage, which to me, that's not the reality of creating music or getting into the music industry. So Wheeler's Weekend Jams is going strong, and I just want to help out every band that that is looking for the help and the promotion that they need. So basically, being a musician myself and then helping out others, that's kind of what made me start Wheeler's Weekend Jams. So thanks, Lauren, for that question. Question number 3. Amanda Lynn, who would win in a fight? Mark McGrath, Before Botox, or Bozo the Clown? Also, if you had to compare the Wheeler's Weekend Jams crew to a movie, what movie would it be and why? Ooh, 2 good questions, Amanda. Well, a fight between Mark McGrath, Before Botox, or Bozo the Clown. Now, either one of them, I don't see them having any anger problems, since Sugar Ray was, I just wanted to fly. They were really kind of down to earth. Even though the earlier stuff was pretty heavy, early Sugar Ray was heavy, but Mark McGrath as an individual, I think he seems to be like a pretty down to earth, cool cat. So I also grew up watching Bozo the Clown. So I also went to a Bozo the Clown show in first grade. I was on TV. I didn't actually get to play any of the games on the show, but I was in the audience. Who would win in a fight? I would really, I don't think there would even be a fight between them two. I think if anything, Bozo would, match him to a duo in whatever game, like Bozo Buckets. He'd probably fight Mark in that sense, hey, I'll beat you in a game. But I could see, Bozo being a little bit more cocky and stuff and really getting in Mark's face. So if I had to say who would win in a fight, no offense to Mark McGrath, but I would say Bozo the Clown, just with his antics and his games. More of a mind fuck. Pretty much. So I would say Bozo the Clown would win a fight. That was crusty. But Bozo definitely. Now your second question, if you had to compare the Wheeler's Weekend Jams crew to a movie, what movie would it be and why? See that, man, I've never been asked that. Now when I ask every band this question, I can see why it takes a couple minutes to really think. So, I'm going to have to think this one out. If we had to compare the Wheeler's Weekend Jams crew to a movie, well, I would say our crew is like one big relationship. It's kind of like a marriage, basically. Gunther, the man behind the camera, and edits all our videos. I grew up with Gunther since I was 7 years old. We played baseball together all through life, and we used to be in a band, blah, 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 blah. And then you have my lovely girlfriend, Lauren, who is our promotional manager as well. She deals with all the setting up our interviews and all that. So we kind of have a 3-duo team. And also we have Renee Rodriguez, who helps us, in the background time to time as well, who I also grew up in high school with. And hey, look who's calling me right now, Mr. Gunther. Let's see. And we have Gunther on the line on speaker while we're filming here. Some questions here. And Gunther, the question is, if we had to compare the Wheeler's Weekend Jams crew to a movie, what movie would it be and why? Right?
Why did you just land it on me?
Dude, you just called right into this question, bro. So you're gonna have to you're on camera right now on the phone, and so you're gonna have to help me out on this one. I was just kind of comparing our.
I would say Superbad.
Superbad?
Yeah.
Superbad's pretty good. Oh, he's trying to get. Oh man, that's crazy. Cause you're married, bro. So you should have no problem with that. But I was also thinking a little bit of Fear and Loathing Las Vegas, not on the whole drug aspect, but just because we kind of find ourselves being in different places at different times, and it's always kind of a little bit confusing at times, and it's also really fun at other times. When we're yeah, it's a little crazy. So you know what we'll do. Yeah, you're kind of like my Dr. Gonzo, Yeah, Gunther's kind of like our lawyer, you know, a little bit. You know, there's other that he takes photos and edits our videos. He's also kind of like the lawyer. He kind of controls, you know, kind of everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because
The business aspect.
yes, the business aspect. So, but so yeah.
Take a handful of these.
Okay, so we're gonna say Superbad and Fear and Loathing Las Vegas go together. Mr. Gunther, let me call you back after this. All right, and that was a good old Gunther. So, yeah. Okay, we have on to the next question, Mr. Eric Stone. Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? Ooh, a lot of fighting questions, but that is a good question because that's very unique. I don't know if a horse could be the size of a duck in nature, but we're gonna take it that way. So I would say would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? I would rather fight a one horse-sized duck. Just because it'll just be one duck, but it's a horse, so it's gonna be, you know, super small, and I think that'd be just kind of easy because I would just kind of like, you know, knock it over. I'd probably tickle its belly a little bit, you know, like a horse on its belly, but it's like the size of a duck. That would be, you know, I don't know. I wouldn't fight. I wouldn't fight those because that's kind of like animal cruelty, and I love animals. So, but I would, you know, 100 duck-sized horses. Now they, you know, they would probably destroy me. So, but that would also be, you know, I'd try to tickle their bellies if they were, you know, large enough. But I would rather just fight one horse-sized duck, just because it'd be tiny. So there you go, Eric. That's a pretty good question, though. Okay, next question. Wendy Renee, do you believe in unicorns? I do. If you ever have seen the movie Legend with Tom Cruise, I believe that was one of Tom Cruise's first movies, and Tim Curry. They had two unicorns in that movie, and you know, obviously unicorns are mystical and magical, and yeah, I do believe in unicorns. I don't really know where they would be like living nowadays. You know, I could maybe see them like in the hills of like Iceland or Greenland, or even the UK. You know, I could see them like being, you know, living in like caves and like just living in a very unique way, not as a like a horse. You know, so I do believe in unicorns. That's a good question. On to the next, Mr. Matt Brill. Is it true that babies are delivered via storks? Yes. And what Matt is pretty much talking about is, I'm sure you've seen some older cartoons when like the big bird, you know, comes in and like carries the baby in like a blanket with its mouth, you know, and like comes in the window and it like delivers the baby basically. Now, Mr. Matt, I'm pretty sure that babies, yes, are delivered by storks, for sure. I don't think in the U.S. necessarily, unless there's some like underground stork action deliveries, you know, maybe. But, you know, I think maybe in other countries, definitely, you know, crossing the borders, you know, delivering babies back and forth, trading babies. You know, I'm sure there's even some like discounts and there's like deals where, you know, you get a stork, not only a baby, but like, you know, maybe like a Pampers with it, so you could get like a baby and some Pampers, you know, like a buy one get one free kind of deal, you know. So yes, I think it is true that babies are still delivered in storks, for sure. Next question. Corey Ferraro Robinson. What was the best vacation you ever went on and why? That's a tough one because I've been to a lot of great vacations. But one that really that I look back at because I was younger. But it was actually the last time I went to go to my homeland in Colorado. I was born in Fort Collins, Colorado, but I was only there when I was like 1 or 2, and then my parents moved back to Chicago. But me and my dad, when I was like 12, 13, around that time, we took a road trip and we drove from Chicago to Texas, New Mexico, and then we went to go to Colorado, Wyoming, and drove all the way back home. So it was kind of like it was like a week or week and a half trip. It was really fun though. I love being on the road. I don't mind taking a plane either, but I love road trips just because it makes the experience a little bit longer and you get to witness and see different things. So that trip was great because we got to camp in New Mexico, and New Mexico is beautiful. And that was the first time when I went on a camping trip, and there was like a forest ranger nearby, and he was warning us that, watch out for the black bears out there because if they smell any food, they'll come and they'll snatch your food from you. So I thought that was really like cool. I wanted to see like a black bear. We didn't see one, but that was awesome. And then like I just remember the stars at night were incredible. And just driving into Santa Fe, New Mexico, whatever road that long road we were on, you don't see anything, and then you kind of go over the road kind of goes up as a hill, and as soon as you get over that hill, you see Santa Fe like in between these mountains, and it's just such a beautiful view because the sun was just going down. You see all these lights in the middle of the mountains, and it was just beautiful. But that trip was awesome. For sure, but I mean, every vacation I've been on, I've loved. Just going on this past 311 cruise to Jamaica, that was also just amazing. But I love traveling in general, so pretty much every vacation I go on is going to be the best vacation of that year or moment in time. So there you go, Corey. Next question. Rob Rasmussen. If the word cannot is can't and do not is don't, shouldn't will not be willn't? Great question. As much as that does make sense, willn't, the way you spelled it is WILLN apostrophe T. I could see where you're going with it, but willn't, that sounds like it could have been used back in the day, like the Games of Thrones days, the castle days, even the beginning of mankind, that could have been, kind of a thing. That's like a Shakespearean type vocabulary. Willn't thy drink thy eggnog down thy throat, that's what she said. Something like that. It could have been used back in the day. We could bring it back, man. I think you could bring it back. Rob, maybe if you start saying willn't, maybe I'll start saying it too, man. We'll bring that back. You know what I'm saying? We'll bring it back from the grave, willn't. But yeah, that could be Shakespearean, I believe. But let's bring back some of that Shakespeare language and let's willn't away. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if that made sense, but willn't. Yes, I think will not should be willn't. So everybody out there, don't say will not, let's say willn't. Let's bring it back, willn't, all right? That sounds good. All right, and next question. Renee Rodriguez. What is your favorite category on Pornhub? First of all, it's terrible. Pornhub, porn sites, they're going to give your computer a virus, man. You don't want them computer viruses. So that is a very immature question, Renee, okay? Porn is, porn's cool. I'm alright with porn, Yeah, that's highly sexual, bro. I don't watch porn, so That's whatever, man. Terrible, Renee. Terrible. And let's see. Last question here is from the band 0 Degrees North. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Now, I think woodchucks, generally, that is their main job, is to chuck wood. So, you know, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I think a lot. It really depends on what kind of business they're running, the woodchucking industry. You know, I'm sure there's some family-owned businesses, which you probably get really good deals on wood in general. I'm sure there's other ones that, you know, want to save the trees, want to save that wood, you know what I'm saying? They want to save that wood. That's what she said. That's another one. But, you know, overall, I think, I think a woodchuck could chuck a lot of wood. More than we even know. I mean, all this paper here, all this mail, you know, that you get every day, that's all from woodchucks, generally. There's a very underground woodchuck nation going on, you know. I stand up for the woodchucks, you know. But how much would a lot of wood, a woodchuck, woodchuck. Yeah, that's just fun saying that. Say that like 100 times. So yeah, a lot of wood. Yeah, well, thank you for all your lovely questions. I appreciate it, and it means the world to us that we have fans and followers, and people appreciate watching our interviews and the dedicated work that we put into this on our spare time. So we want to thank everybody. Remember, check out our website at wheelersweekendjams.com and support us on our Patreon page at patreon.com/WWJ. Our videos are always going to be for free on our Patreon page, but if you really like what we're doing, you could always chip in $1 or $2. It's going to keep us staying motivated on doing these interviews. And willn't thou be going to work in a couple hours? Yes. Now that made sense. I basically was saying, will I be going to work in a couple hours? Yes. So I'm going to stop talking. You have a good one.